What might it look like to meet the childhood self of you and their most authentic being, their most playful, creative, joyful self, the innocence, the purity, the vitality of life, the ecstasy of everyday moments? What would it take to connect with that childhood self of you, that foundational self aspect, and who they would have grown up to be if they had always known unconditional love? Can you imagine who you would be right here, right now, and how you would experience yourself and your life if you were who the childhood self of you would have grown up to be if they had always known unconditional love? And what that really means is that the body-mind would navigate life in relation with the fulfillment and the well-being of internal attachment needs. What that would actually mean and look like is that hundreds of trillions of energetic pathways in the body-mind are effectively connected, harmoniously coupled, connected in just the right amount of way, with not too many connections, not too few connections, and not any unique connections, but just the right amount of connections between hundreds of trillions of energetic pathways. And all of those pathways that carry unconscious memories among its infinite details would be organized in relation with experiences where all attachment needs were always fulfilled, and the self always felt seen and loved and appreciated and treasured and celebrated, safe, secure, supported, connected, respected, embraced, allowed to be the authentic self. Can you imagine if the you that was in childhood had only ever been treated with respect, had only ever known unconditional love, had always been seen and celebrated for who they really were, had always felt supported for who they were, not supported conditionally or supported in the projections of how other people wanted that child to be, but supported in who they really were, respected for who they really were in their heart, in their soul, in their being. If that childhood self had always felt safe and protected and provided for and nourished, if that childhood self had always had the opportunity to express their most authentic being, if that childhood self had always felt so loved for who they really were, and then from that space, every moment of life held energies of unconditional love, and that information is now stored in hundreds of trillions of energetic pathways in your body-mind and navigating the way you experience life today. Can you imagine it? Can you imagine the feeling of your childhood self and how they were and who they were, how they engaged with life, how they explored life, how they experienced themselves before there was any moment where attachment needs weren't fulfilled? Can you connect with that foundational essence of yourself and remember that feeling of being innocent and playful and joyful in every moment just because you're alive, and that's a miracle? And who would you be today if there had always been that unconditional love affecting the navigation you experience through your body-mind? Can you remember who you were before anyone told you who that was? Can you imagine how your body-mind would be if your body, mind, and your divine consciousness had gotten to know itself before anyone or anything outside of it told it who that was? And what if there was a way to experience this, even if it's never been experienced before? What if there's a way to get that part of you back? What if there's a way to restore the body-mind to the navigational potentials it could have known if it had always experienced unconditional love? What if there was a way to just hit reset on everything that existed without dismissing it or dishonoring it, but just to wipe the slate clean and say, you know what? Today's a fresh start. And no matter how many years there have been unfulfilled attachment needs, no matter how many years have kept me separate from that foundational aspect of my inner child, no matter how much time or space, or no matter how many experiences, or no matter how many moments of less than perfect love have kept me in the present moment separate from that foundational self, now is a chance to reunite, to bridge those worlds, to start over brand new. And so what happens in life is there's the early stages of childhood, right? There's neurodevelopment and attachment development, and all the brain hemispheres start to grow and get connected, and they start to make information, and all the nervous systems start to learn how to regulate themselves. And in the first 12 years of life, the foundation of the body-mind begins to develop. And from that foundation, developed in the first 12 years of life, then other experiences in relation with attachment well-being get organized into the body-mind. And then all of that information collectively is what helps navigate unfolding realities and affects the way that you think and feel and move and perceive and behave and make decisions. And so according to the body-mind, there actually are no past experiences. And this is important to keep in mind when we're navigating the healing journey of loving liberation. The body-mind doesn't understand that there are past experiences. And you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense because there's all of these memories and that affects the way that I'm thinking and feeling and moving. Yes, but only because memories neuroscientifically exist to provide navigation in present and potential moments. And so there are no past memories according to the body-mind. There's only present navigational programs. There's only present navigational programs in the body-mind. And so all of these years of experiences, it wasn't about the experience, it was about the navigational programs that they were creating in the body-mind. And that clarification can open so many doors along the healing journey of loving liberation so that we can restore and transform and evolve and expand our beings from the inside out to be more of who we truly are. And so there are no past experiences according to the body-mind. There's just present navigational programs. And so what if you could rewrite how your entire life affects you right now? Not by looking at the past experiences, but by creating a new body-mind foundation to rewrite the navigational programs. And in that process, experience a greater unity of the totality of your own authentic essence in a way that maybe you've never experienced before. Because can you imagine it? Can you imagine who your childhood self would have grown up to be if they had always known unconditional love? Can you imagine how you would think and how you would feel and how you would perceive life and how you would associate with yourself if there had only ever been experiences of unconditional love that created the navigational programs in your body-mind. And can you imagine how connected you would feel with yourself and with life if this had been the case? In order to meet who the childhood self would have grown up to be if they'd always known unconditional love, we have to rewrite hundreds of trillions of energetic pathways that might be carrying information about unfulfilled attachment needs, or not being connected with all of the self, or conditional love, or etc., 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 etc. Moments where we weren't fully connected with ourselves, moments where we weren't fully connected with life, moments where we weren't experiencing unconditional love, moments where we didn't feel seen and celebrated, moments where we didn't feel respected and embraced, moments where we didn't feel supported and connected. And maybe there's been hundreds of thousands of moments like that. And maybe that was during childhood, or maybe it was between childhood and now. But a lot of times that happens. But it doesn't mean that today can't be a brand new beginning. It doesn't mean that today can't be a brand new beginning. No matter who you are or what you've experienced, the foundational aspect of who you really are is welcoming you home to unconditional love. The authentic essence of your sacred soul is begging to be liberated into its most authentic self. And your inner child is craving to experience loving liberation like never before. The body-mind originally developed into existence through a process of social engagement, where there was a young infant, and then a young toddler, and a young child, and how that precious sacred little being interacted with other people, starting with the parents and caregiver and family members, and then extending beyond to other people. But the way that that young, small, precious, sacred little being interacted with other people, and how those interactions and experiences fulfilled or did not fulfill attachment needs, is what originally sculpted the entire body-mind into existence. And so we can actually practice social self-engagement and go back to the body-mind foundation and recreate it. And one of the most miraculous aspects about this is that this process and this practice is so powerful that it literally rebuilds the brain from the ground up and reconstructs the entire body-mind. I'm talking conscious and unconscious memories, explicit and implicit memories from every year of life in relation with infinite navigational roles of the body-mind. There's all these different priorities regarding navigation, and they each are connected with their own region of information from every year of life, where there's conscious and unconscious or explicit and implicit pieces of data filed through hundreds of trillions of energetic pathways. Okay, so like a super complex system, like understatement, okay? Super complex system, right? Super complex system. This process and this practice is so mind-blowingly effective that it reorganizes and rewrites all of that information without looking at it. But it does so a trillion times more effectively than you can imagine. Imagine being able to rewrite unconscious memories from early childhood, even if you can't remember your childhood at all. Imagine being able to reorganize dozens of navigational systems of the body-mind that have been affected from age 2, age 5, age 8, age 10, age 12, age 15, age 18, age 20, age 22, age 25, age etc., until the age that you are. All of these years with all these different navigational programs where most of that information is stored in unconscious memories. Imagine being able to rewrite the way that your entire life has created your body mind and now affects the navigation of your inner realities and the unity of your own self-essence. Imagine having so much power that you can resculpt all of that easily, enjoyably, and without looking at any past experiences to do so, without looking at any of the particulars of what already exists in the body mind. You don't have to go inside and look at any of this information to completely rebuild it, completely resculpt it, completely recreate it. And I'm speaking from extensive research and personal experience. This process reconstructs this information 200 million, billion, trillion, quadrillion times more effectively than if you tried to look at specific experiences and transform them. If you are someone who, for example, maybe had disrupted attachment development and early life trauma, and then health challenges that developed from all of that, and then all these other unfulfilled attachment needs and painful experiences, some of them in relation with this and how it's navigating life, some of them just because life happens. Okay? And so the whole body mind is just like unfulfilled attachment needs, disrupted navigation, disrupted regulation, separation between all these self aspects, independent activities between all these self aspects. Even if all of that is what's in the body mind, if you try to go back and you're like, okay, let's heal the disrupted attachment development, let's look at these experiences one by one, let's look at each experience where there was a disruption of the attachment development and heal each of those experiences, right? And then, okay, let's go through here, and okay, so then these implicit health challenges started to formulate because of that, and there was this early life trauma. Let's go back into every single piece of that information, every single piece of that memory data, every single piece of that experience, and try to resolve it and create this resolution for each individual experience of unfulfilled attachment needs, disrupted attachment development, trauma, stress, all these things. And then, there's implicit health challenges that formulate. So then there were all these other battles and all these other times of unfulfilled attachment needs just because they were being projected into the navigation of the body mind. And then there was all this, let's go one by one to each of those experiences. Let's go one by one to each of those regions of memory data and try to rewrite them, try to bring resolution, try to transform them so that they're no longer negatively impacting experiences in the now. If you tried to do that, it would take a really long time, it would be a gnarly journey, and the results would be meh. And again, speaking from extensive research and personal experience, okay? With that, I want to say a disclaimer. There are some experiences where you do need to go into them to resolve them. This is a case-by-case scenario, okay? There are some experiences where you do need to go in there and re-piece things together. There are some times when that is necessary, okay? There are some times, some cases, some pieces of things that can happen where that is directly needed. But in this example, if there's so many different things contributing, right? So it's not like there was perfect attachment well-being, one stressful experience, perfect attachment well-being. In that case, you go back to that one stressful experience, you resolve it, you're set, okay? But if there's been all these different collective things and it's not so black and white and there's like thousands of pieces of memory data you would have to go reorganize, going one by one to each of those experiences and trying to bring resolution to the memory data that's navigating now is going to take a long time. It's going to be painful because you're looking back at all these past pains, and it can actually create greater separation between self aspects or increased independent activity between all these self aspects, because there's kind of this inner war going on. There's all, okay, like these things happen, but we're trying to resolve it, but it's like inside of me, like you end up creating more push and pull, right? You end up creating like more push and pull, more resistance, more of what you don't want, because you're looking at what you don't want. If you don't want those past experiences and those memories that are disrupting life now, then looking at them isn't going to really bring a lot of good feelings, right? Okay? And so from extensive research and personal experience, research including into the greatest depths of neuroscience and attachment development, and personal experience of trying all the things, both the route where you're like, okay, I'm going to look at each individual memory and try to like heal it and transform it and resolve it, versus like the routes to social self-engagement that I'm sharing, right? Okay, so from extensive research and personal experience, I say with deep, passionate conviction of my soulful heart that this social self-engagement practice is 200 billion trillion times more effective at reorganizing, reconstructing, rewriting hundreds of trillions of energetic pathways in the body-mind, without having to look at any past experiences, without having to look at what already exists in these navigational programs, okay? Because remember, body-mind doesn't understand that there were any past experiences. It just has navigational programs that were created from those experiences and are stored in unconscious memories. But it's just navigational programs. The body-mind doesn't understand a past memory. It understands present navigational programs. So imagine having so much power that you can literally rewrite the way your entire life affects you now by rebuilding the body-mind foundation through fun, easy, simple, joyful, playful, creative ways of practicing social self-engagement. Because remember, the body-mind first came into existence, that young infant, toddler, and young child was experiencing their attachment needs met or not met as they interacted with all these other people. But now the self can interact with itself through distinction and connection between self aspects and be like, hi, I'm here to fulfill your attachment needs. Oh, yay, good. I'm so excited to receive your unconditional love. Yay, well, good, because I'm excited to give you unconditional love. And then these different parts of the self can actually start to create a brand new body-mind foundation by going straight to the attachment systems. Because what happens in the body-mind, and this references my liberated consciousness diagram, is there's attachment systems and then memory data that houses information from experiences, and then that creates meaning-making associations, or those navigational programs. So if you work with the navigational programs, or if you work with the memories, you're still not getting to the foundation of the body-mind. But if you go straight to the attachment systems and rebuild the foundation, then everything that was built on top of it, all of those memories, all of those navigational programs, all of those meaning-making associations, all of that starts to shift even without working directly with it, because you went deeper than it. You went deeper than it. You went deeper into the foundation. It's like if you have a crack in a wall, but the crack in the wall is actually because the foundation of the house isn't set right, then you could fix that crack, but it's just going to come back because the crack wasn't the problem. The crack was just a clue of the deeper problem in the foundation. It's just like that in the body-mind. If there's a disruption about how we're experiencing ourselves or life, if there's a disruption in the unity and the joy and the unconditional love and the wholeness and the well-being and the openness and the expressiveness and the expansiveness of how we're able to feel like ourselves, then it's not the crack in the wall, it's the foundation. It's not the memory data. It's not the past experience. It's not the projection of navigation. It's the foundation of attachment well-being. And so in order to meet the childhood self and who they would have grown up to be, if they had always known unconditional love, We'd have to rewrite hundreds of trillions of energetic pathways and shapeshift and transmute how every moment of experience from everything we've ever encountered in our entire lives is affecting the navigational programs in our body, mind now. And we'd have to go back and welcome home all these different parts of the self. Because in any moment of unfulfilled attachment needs, can I help you? In any moment of unfulfilled attachment needs, they're so noisy. In any moment of unfulfilled attachment needs, we lose a part of ourselves. A part of ourselves is not able to be with the rest of the totality of ourselves. And so we'd have to go back and welcome home these hundreds and thousands and millions and billions and trillions of self aspects. And again, going memory to memory and experience to experience would take a long time and would be a very painful journey because you're looking back at all this other stuff. The concepts for mirror play with mirror power creative connections originally began developing early on in the Implicit Revelations case study. And you can find out more about the miraculous journey that's led me to the work play that I do through other of my expressions, including part 1 of my known documentary series. The program of Mirror Play with Mirror Power, Creative Connections as it exists now, was created in autumn of 2021. And even though the ideas had been growing for years and had been applied every day and led to the transformation preceding that, I have now been using the Mirror Play with Mirror Power Creative Connections course every day since creating it. And now, over 600 days into using it, I am more in love with the journey of it than ever. There are actually genuinely no words to describe the profound power of creative connections. It recreates the body-mind so effectively. And it welcomes home these infinite parts of the self so profoundly. And you literally get to meet who the childhood self would have grown up to be if they had always known unconditional love. The Creative Connections course includes a wide variety of magics, but among the magics that it includes, you go on a marathon journey for 2.5 hours. And in that process, you literally resculpt the body-mind foundation. And this 2.5 marathon practice is shared through a guided audio experience. And so you listen to this video for 2.5 hours while being in a mirror, and you follow the guided journey and make it your own. And you do this on a regular basis, on an ongoing, consistent basis. And that is the foundation of the Creative Connections course, Mirror Play with Mirror Power. In addition, there's other daily practices that are fun and simple and easy and enjoyable. And it helps practice social self-engagement, or distinction and connection between self aspects, while nourishing the attachment needs at the foundation of the body-mind. And these practices are so fun, and they allow for the moment to melt into itself. These practices allow for the moment to melt into itself. And in these moments, there is no past. There is no future. And in the present moment, the inner experiencer and their attachment well-being matters more than the actual experience. And this allows for ordinary moments in everyday life to become extraordinary opportunities to cultivate loving liberation from the inside out. And it helps to resculpt the body-mind while uniting self-aspects. And believe me when I say, the profoundness of these practices is indescribable. Because not only are they fun and enjoyable and playful and wonderful and add love and peace and well-being to everyday moments, but they're also covertly resculpting hundreds of trillions of energetic pathways in the body-mind effectively. And the result is that you get a brand new body-mind. You get a brand new navigational system of your own existence. You get to experience a greater wholeness of the totality of your true self than you've ever known before in your entire life. And that is priceless. It permanently shifts your existence for the better in ways that are beyond anything the conscious mind can immediately fathom. And the way that every moment of your entire life has affected the navigational programs of your body, mind now is resculpted, recreated, transformed, rewired, reconstructed, rebuilt. Your whole brain gets rebuilt from the ground up. But you don't have to go in and try to rebuild your brain. You get to just hang out and have fun. Mirror Play with Mirror Power Creative Connections is just about having fun and creating tender moments for yourself and feeling joy and expansion and the unconditional love of your heart and the freedom that can be felt within that. I've spent hundreds and thousands of hours using the concepts from Mirror Play with Mirror Power Creative Connections. And it's the best thing I've ever done in my whole life. Speaking from the bottom of my heart and with every cell of my being, it's the best thing I've ever done with my entire life. And it's completely shape-shifted my existence in a way that feels incredible. And I want to share that with you. I want to share that journey with you. I want to share that magic with you. I want to share that medicine with you. I want to share the sacred power of these practices. I want to share the profound results of what can happen when you invest in this journey. I want to share what it feels like to know who that childhood self would have grown up to be if they'd always known unconditional love. I want to share that with you. I want to share that medicine and that magic and that powerful transformation, that powerful journey, that profound adventure. Mirror Play with Mirror Power Creative Connections is the journey of a lifetime because it rewrites your lifetime to give you a new life. And the loving liberation sculpted through it, it's breathtaking, it's awe-striking, it's irreplaceable. And even the deepest layers of unconscious memories, even the greatest depths of anything that's been experienced that felt like less than love, it's just dissolved. It just gets wiped away. It just gets wiped clean, and all of those parts get to come home. All of those aspects of the self get to feel unconditional love now. And the way that the body-mind has navigational programs from those experiences gets to be transmuted effortlessly. And I want to share that with you. If this journey interests you, please explore Mirror Play with Mirror Power Creative Connections. And if any of these concepts interest you, but the Creative Connections course might not be the right fit, please feel free to explore all of my other offerings through services and creations. A lot of them have a similar underlying theme of loving liberation and attachment well-being and unifying with the self-essence. And so even if Creative Connections isn't the perfect fit for your journey, please explore all my other services and creations, because there is infinite possibility to experience loving liberation. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah.